Hello and most welcome to 1589 of the Heidegger series. I will today start a reading of an article by Craig R. Koester. The number of the beast in Revelation 13 in light of Papyri, Graffiti and Inscriptions. There will be a link to this article in the description on YouTube. Oh, the other direction. Yes, perfect. Abstract. Revelation's portrayal of a tyrannical beast concludes with a riddle which identifies the beast number as 666. Among the factors that complicate the interpretation of the riddle are first, that there is a notable textual variant that reads 616 instead of 666. Second, that there are differences over the appropriate method of interpretation. And third, that even those who agree about method may reach different conclusions. Many scholars find the most plausible interpretation to be that the number summarizes the numerical value of Nero Caesar written in Hebrew characters. While others find this proposal unconvincing. This article provides fresh support for the Nero Caesar interpretation by examining recently published graffiti from the Agora at Smyrna. Papyri from Oxyrhynchus, Ketef, Jericho, and Murabat, and inscriptions from the synagogues at Sardis and Dura Europos. Introduction. Revelation's portrayal of a tyrannical seven-headed beast concludes with a riddle. This calls for wisdom. Let the one who understands calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a person. Its number is 666. Readers from antiquity to the present have found the riddle challenging to interpret. The issues surrounding the riddle have at least 3 dimensions. First, there is a notable textual variant that reads 616 instead of 666. Second, there are questions about what method should be used to interpret the number. Third, even when interpreters agree on the text and the method, they may reach different conclusions about the solution of the riddle. In current scholarship, the most prevalent view is that the best reading is 666. The preferred method is gematria, which means finding a name in which the numerical values of the letters yield a total of 666. The most common conclusion is that the number equals the sum of the letters in Nero Caesar when the words are translated into Hebrew characters. Yet, on each of these points, there are dissenting voices, and their questions invite continued investigation into the problem with special attention to two aspects. One is widening the range of ancient sources to include texts that have been overlooked or have only become available rather recently. These include graffiti from the Agora at Smyrna, Papyri from Oxyrhynchus, Ketef Jericho, and Murabat, and inscriptions from the synagogues at Sardis and Dura Europos. The other aspect involves identifying the social factors that affect the interpretation of the riddle and the transmission of the text in its various forms. Up, please. Considerations. Consideration of these factors will show that the most common interpretation of the riddle remains plausible, and it will enhance our understanding of how the riddle functioned in ancient contexts. On the text critical problem, forms of the number 666 are well attested in many textual witnesses and across the various text types. Codex Alexandrinus is generally understood to preserve the best text of Revelation, and it spells out the number as 666. That reading also appears in the text used in the commentary by Oecumenius, which dates from the early 6th century. Next in importance is the text type that includes Sinaiticus Alpha Aleph, which dates from the 4th century and spells out 666, as well as Papyrus 47. Papyrus 47, which is from the late 3rd century and uses the letters chi, si, stigma to signify 666. The vast majority of Greek manuscripts have some form of this reading, and it is widely attested in the Latin, Coptic, and Syriac versions. For Irenaeus, who wrote at the end of the 2nd century, 666 was the preferred reading, and it was used by Hippolytus, Andreas of Caesarea, and most other ancient writers. Up for the text space. The alternative reading 616 has only limited attestation in ancient manuscripts. But it does appear in Codex Ephraimici, which dates from the 5th century and is generally ranked along with Alexandrinus as one of the best textual witnesses. The discovery of Oxyrhynchus Papyrus 4499, which dates from the late 3rd or early 4th century, adds support for the alternative reading. Now labeled New Testament Papyrus 115. The Oxyrhynchus text uses the letters chi, iota, stigma to signify 616. The papyrus is noteworthy because it seems to belong to the high-quality text represented by Alexandrinus and Euphremi, which has prompted some text critics to raise against the question of which reading should be preferred in Revelation 13:18. This is going to be a bit shorter. We will put a mark there. And it's time for a summary so far. Koester here seemed to be looking for a true understanding. And compares different understandings of the number of the beast, looking for the truer one, the most verifiable, the arche, if you like, or why not the original? Here, originary texts play an important role, and the more that is found, whether it is in Jericho, Qumran, or other new archaeological sites, there could always come a truer one. The originary primordial sign of the beast. The search goes on, and there is an establishment. We're just at the beginning, but there is an establishment of an essence, a transcendental essence of verifiability, hard to pronounce, truthness, originary source. And I would say already, have a chance, but first causal ingredient, the first cause. Clearest that was in the very beginning of the text, where comparisons from different viewpoints and opinions were casted out, parallel. But already there is a slight hint of a marginalization here of the other viewpoint. Interesting so far. Maybe something from Kalle. You're more than welcome to speak. We are in sound environment. The iota is marginalized instead of chi, shy, and stigma. Indeed. Very good, yeah. We have chi, iota, and stigma or vice versa. Iota or she is the question, indeed.
The letter is difficult to pronounce. Xi.
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 Mm.
Bit of a tongue twister. It's interesting to read this text, especially from how things are starting already to get established. Not so clear in the abstract, but in the introduction, it was putting down the terms, building up for what I would suppose or expect to be a demonstration of what is prioritized and how the prioritized takes its force from the marginalized. And iota was a very good expectation there. I will terminate the recording. You can linger on for a second. Thank you very much for viewing.